وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ. And they followed what shayateen used to recite in the reign of Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam. Before we go further into the ayah, let me go over the message of the ayah and explain this ayah briefly, inshallah, so we can understand the translation and we can understand the message of the ayah. Yahud, it was known about them that they are too much into sorcery and into magic. They used to keep that as part of their culture, that they are going to learn and teach this black magic. It started all the way from the time of Sayyidina Dawood alayhi salatu wassalam. It could have been even before that, but at that time it was very, very strong. During the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even in the ahadith, we find that they used to be very proud of their knowledge of knowing how to do magic on people. They did it on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a person with the name Asim ibn Labid. And when Sahaba immigrated to Medina Munawwara, they also claimed that we did magic on you people so that you would not have any male child born to Muhajirin. This is why when Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Zubayr radiyallahu anhu was born as the first child to the Muhajirin, Sahaba were very, very happy about it, because that proved that whatever they had done did not work on Sahaba ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. If we go through the history, you will find a long history of this, of sihr, of sorcery, of magic. In the past, kings generally used to have magicians with them because that was a way to control people. So, as we see in Fir'aun, he called all the magicians to compete with Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. And we read in the hadith the story of the king who had a magician, and that magician said, I need a young boy to come and learn, and a sharp boy, so I can teach him all of my knowledge of magic, so he can always help the king. So kings and rulers, they used to have some strong magicians be with them, and they will use them. Use them for what? For controlling people's minds, for hurting people, for keeping people down through the magic. You scare them, this guy is going to do something to you. So are you going to listen, or we will have him destroy everything in your family? So they used to use magic. What is magic? Very quickly, remember, to understand the magic, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put certain effect in everything in this life. Everything in this world has certain effect. Many of us, we are not aware of the effect of things. When we are advancing with our medications, medical science, what is all of that? Basically, it's all about more research on different ingredients and the effect of these ingredients, isn't it? In fact, the whole science is just based on this. So, is the effect of different things that are in the world, the effect of this environment, and how this air has the power of carrying the sound, carrying the picture, and transferring it from one location to another location. All of this is our finding, nothing our creation. We just find these things, and then we started coming up with the type of machinery that can really support this type of environment. So magic is something similar to that, but using certain words, the effect of words. Words have effect. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us the effect of the good words on us, which is the du'as. So what will be the effect of a good dua on us? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's du'as are teaching us the good effect. Adhkar, tasbihat, these are good effect. And there are certain words that have evil effect. Out of those things that have evil effect, there are certain that are extremely evil, and Sharia has forbidden us from using them, and that is magic. Even the previous religions like Judaism, Christianity, they all had forbidden the use of sihr, of magic. So the reality of it is there, and the effect is there. Sharia doesn't allow us to use it because it is used for wrong things only, and no good can come out of it. Therefore, Sharia has forbidden us from using it. But there are people who would go after it and they would learn these things. So Yahud, they used to learn this magic. As I said, the purpose of the kings and rulers in the past was to control people, to hurt people, to get their benefit unjustly, get something out of people unjustly. So this is what they used to use it for. So when Yahud, they saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his followers are increasing and getting larger in number, so they started using these type of things, and they told their own people that make sure that we all learn this. This is how we are going to protect ourselves from the effect of his messages, from his du'as and his prayers. We are going to protect ourselves through this magic. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ. So this is now we understand that what this ayah is referring to, that they were following the magic, and what is magic. This ayah is giving us some history of it, and we will go over that very quickly. During the time of Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam, before, in fact, the time of Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam, remember Sulaiman alayhi salam is from Bani Israel. So that was the time when Judaism was the true deen of Allah. And there were a lot of Jews over there that were following the true deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sulaiman alayhi salam is a prophet of Allah. Dawood alayhi salam is a prophet of Allah. But at the same time, there were a lot of them that were into this magic. People who use magic, they use jinns. They use jinns, and we can call them shayateen, because evil jinns are shayateen. So they use shaitan, they use the jinns for their magic, for putting the proper effect of the magic on people. So they also deal with jinns. Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam, Allah gave him control over the jinns. So because of that, he got full control over the magic in those days. So these people used to write all of that knowledge of magic, and they were hiding it. Sulaiman alayhi salam got hold of all of that. He got hold of all of that, and he buried it somewhere. When Sulaiman alayhi salam is a type of prophet who Allah gave him the power over the jinn also. If it was anyone else besides Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, the jinns would have stolen those writings, those books, and take them back to their owners or to their leaders, whoever. And this happens a lot, remember, by the way, even in our time, that you hide something, it goes missing. There is a great possibility the one who took it will be a jinn. So they they wanted to steal it, but Sulaiman alayhi salam's control over them, they didn't have no chance of doing any of that. When Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam passed away, these jinns now started going back to their leaders and telling them, we will tell you where everything is buried. We know where it is. We couldn't take it out until now, but now we will tell you where it is. So they went and informed their leaders of where the whereabout was of where everything was buried. These people, these leaders got together, be it you call them fortune tellers, rabbis, whatever their titles were at that time, they got together and they said, we are going to dig in this place here and see what's over there. When they dug over there, they found all of those books that were talking about the magic. So they told people, this is how Sulaiman alayhi salam was controlling all of us through magic. He was not a prophet of Allah. He wasn't a prophet. He was not doing it through Allah's help. He was doing it through the magic. And they all got into it fully now. And they started following the magic and they got into learning and teaching it. After some time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent two angels. Now, magic spread too fast and spread too much amongst them at that time, after the demise of Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam. So now, after some time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent two angels to teach people how to protect yourselves from the magic. Because now everyone in the community is doing it. There are only few good people that are not doing it, but they're getting affected by those people. These people are doing magic on them, on their children. So they're hurting them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent two angels whose names were Harut and Marut to teach people how to break the effect of this magic. These two angels came, and now when you want to teach people how to undo a bomb, someone made a bomb and it's full of chemicals, there is fire in it, there are chemicals in it. So if you want to teach the person how to undo it, you will have to tell them about all the ingredients on how it is made. So when you give them that information, this becomes a very dangerous information now. You may be giving them information that some of them were not aware of. So there are certain fields in our lives, certain occupations in our world, that for a person to be assigned to that occupation and to the job, he has to take oath of not misusing whatever he would have in his possession. Be it medication, that doctor will not misuse the medication. He can kill people right and left. Doctors easily can kill people. But I mean, it's an occupation of trust that, okay, we'll trust you, you are not going to misuse it. So these two malaika, Harut and Marut, when they started telling people of the reality of what the thing is, because every time you would go and tell them, I have been affected by magic. What did they do on you? The magic they did on me is that I don't feel like eating anymore. Okay, so then this magic is done like this. So he will tell you, Harut and Marut will tell you what method a person can use for doing a magic so that people will not eat. And then they will tell you how to break that magic. The person did magic on me, I don't love my children anymore. Okay, so we will teach you what method people use for that type of magic. But make sure don't misuse it. And then we will tell you how to break it, how to undo it. So people started going to them and learning because they were affected by it. So now they're learning how to undo it. But at the same time, now instead of just learning how to undo it, they started using this as an excuse. Someone did a magic on me that I don't love my wife anymore. So he will tell you, okay, this is the ingredient. This is how they do the magic on you so that you don't love your wife anymore. And then to undo this is what you need to do. This person was not affected by that magic. There was nothing wrong with him. He only wants to do it because he loves someone and he wants that person is married to another person or in love with someone else and he wants to break between those two guys. So he is pretending that it's my situation, but really it's not his situation. He's going to use it on someone else to break them apart so he can marry this girl. So this is how they started misusing it. So I hope now what Harut and Marut were doing is clear, because there are a lot of Israeliyat behind it. And books carry a lot of stories and tells and Israeliyat about these were two angels who started loving when they used to teach people magic. They were not teaching people magic. How could angels be teaching magic? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we look into the ayat, we will see there is no possibility in this ayah that those two angels were teaching them magic. And then they will say that, these two angels, they started loving a girl. Angels, la ya'sun Allah ma amarahum. They don't disobey Allah. So they fell in love with a girl, and she made them drink alcohol. They committed zina with her, and then they both became stars, or that girl became a star. And that Thuraya, there is a star called Thuraya, that was that girl that Harut and Marut committed zina with, wal-iyaz billah. All of these are nonsense and just stories from Israeliyat. After blaming Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam with all of those things, then they are blaming even the malaika with these type of things. Has nothing to do with our deen. The ayat are very clear that these two malaika, they were two malaika, and they were warning people, don't learn for a wrong purpose and don't misuse what we will be teaching you. But they started misusing it, and they, instead of learning how to break the magic, they started using that science to promote the magic. Now, let's look into the ayat.